In a quiet neighborhood stood an old house with creaking floors and dusty windows. Inside lived a 12-year-old girl named Mira, who had recently moved there with her parents. Everything in the house felt ordinary except for one thing, an antique mirror in her bedroom. Its frame was carved with twisting vines and tiny faces that seemed to watch her whenever she passed by. The first time she looked into it, she noticed something strange. Her reflection smiled a second later than she did. Mira blinked, confused, but convinced herself it was just her imagination. Days passed, and every evening, her reflection began acting slightly different. If Mira brushed her hair, the reflection paused before copying her. If Mira turned away, she felt the reflection still staring at her from the glass. One rainy night, when thunder rumbled through the house, Mira woke up to a soft tapping. It was coming from the mirror. She sat up, heart pounding, and stared into the glass. Her reflection was standing there, but it wasn't moving. Slowly, the mirrored girl lifted her hand and tapped again. Mira whispered, "What do you want?" The reflection's lips formed words, but no sound escaped. Then, the mirror fogged up from the inside, and a message appeared as though written by an invisible finger: "Help me." Fear and curiosity tangled inside Mira. She stepped closer and placed her palm on the cold glass. In a flash, an icy wind pulled her into darkness. She gasped and found herself standing in a reversed copy of her room. The colors looked faded, the air heavy, and the reflected girl stood before her. She looked exactly like Mira, but her eyes were tired and sad. The girl explained without speaking, her thoughts echoing in Mira's mind. Years ago, she had been trapped inside the mirror by a curse placed on the house. She needed someone brave enough to break it. Mira hesitated but agreed to help. The mirrored girl pointed to a small crack at the bottom of the frame. Mira touched it, and light burst from her fingertips, spreading through the mirror like fire. The glass shattered, not to pieces, but into glowing dust that swirled around them. Mira stumbled backward into her real room as the trapped girl faded into freedom. When the last spark vanished, the mirror lay empty and lifeless. From that night on, Mira slept peacefully. But sometimes, in a quiet moment, she felt grateful that she had listened to the girl in the mirror, and even more grateful that the mirror would never whisper again.